Now on WKRG News 5.
The last Christmas for a pop icon. We look back at the life of George Michael after the British singer's sudden death at the age of 53.
Everyone should do it, not only Christmas. Let's do it every day.
We'll take you to downtown Mobile, where a family shows the homeless what having the Christmas spirit truly means. Plus, Santa makes a pit stop during his busy schedule to spread a little holiday cheer to a few precious infants on the Gulf Coast.
Tomorrow brings another warm winter's day. I'll have the forecast coming up.
From WKRG News 5, the Gulf Coast news leader. The news starts now.
Good evening, everyone. I'm JB Buno. Ashley Knight has the night off. Merry Christmas, and thanks so much for joining us here on News 5. First at 5, few details at this hour of a pedestrian struck on I-65. It happened at 9 o'clock at the entrance ramp from Dauphin Street and Airport Boulevard. And if we take a look at the video, you can see here first responders making it quickly onto the scene, aiding in as many injuries as there were at the scene. At this time, we don't know the identity or the condition of the person struck or who was driving the vehicle. Check WKRG.com or News 5 this morning, tomorrow morning, for the latest on this developing story. Well, to the big story on social media tonight. British pop superstar George Michael has died. It was a sudden loss of the Grammy-winning singer from Wham, who brought us hit after hit over his illustrious, although sometimes controversial, career. George Michael has seen his last Christmas. The British singer soared to stardom in Wham, the duo he formed as a teenager in 1982 with friend Andrew Ridgeley, best known through the 80s and 90s for their twist on post-disco dance pop. As Wham split, Michael's first solo single, Careless Whisper, was a hit in 1984. 3 years later, his first solo album, called Faith, went to sell more than 20 million copies. Michael's career, though, wasn't without controversy, such as this provocative music video playing extensively on MTV just as the AIDS crisis worsened, and he was arrested in 1998 for lewd conduct in a public restroom. Let's go outside. Later on, Michael would make light of his struggles and his sexuality with the release of the single Outside, revealing himself to be a gay man. But he was again in trouble with the law in 2008 when he was arrested for drug use. He nearly died of pneumonia in 2011, but his recovery would go on to inspire the 2012 hit White Light, which he performed at the Olympic Games in London. He was in production for a documentary about his life set to be released in 2017. That before the sudden and shocking news this Christmas. Pop icon George Michael passing away at the age of 53. And we're still reading more into Michael's passing. The cause of death is yet to be officially revealed, though some reports online claim that George Michael passed away peacefully of heart failure. Well, it was a somber Christmas evening for one community in Mobile after a fatal motorcycle crash on Thursday night.
1, 2, 3.
Tonight, loved ones came together to release balloons in memory of 24-year-old Bradley Rivers. Witnesses say Rivers' motorcycle collided with a black SUV last Thursday. Fellow biker club members and the family of Rivers decided to hold the balloon release at the same location where he lost his life, that being on Government Street near the intersection of Pleasant Valley Road. The family told our crew on the scene that this is a symbolic step in the right direction for them to heal. Well, the very tiniest patients at USA Children's and Women's Hospital spent their very first Christmas in the hospital, but it wasn't without some Christmas cheer. They received a very special visitor this year. Our Allison Spann joins us now live at the Webb Center with more on this story. Allison, who was the guest of honor in the NICU this year?
Well, JB, if you've ever spent a holiday in the hospital, you know that it can be hard to get the full holiday experience. You're away from most of your family, likely you or someone very close to you is sick, and it's just not the same as being at home. Well, USA Children's and Women's Hospital wanted to give the infants in their NICU a taste of Christmas by bringing the man in red to visit. That's right, Santa Claus paid a visit to these tiny patients in the neonatal intensive care unit. The babies in the NICU spent their first Christmas at USA Children's and Women's, so the hospital staff felt it necessary to make sure the children and their families were able to get a taste of the holiday spirit. And what better way than bringing in Santa Claus to pose with for their first Christmas photos. Patients in the NICU aren't able to leave due to germs, and from what some of the parents have posted on the Children's and Women's Facebook page, tiny gestures like this really do go a long way. And speaking of babies and Christmas, check out this Christmas baby born this afternoon just after 4 p.m. This little fella named Jack made his debut at the Spring Hill Hospital weighing 7 pounds and 13 ounces. Congratulations to the new parents Corinne and Garner Wilson on your new baby boy. Merry Christmas to you and yours. Reporting from the Web Center, I'm Allison Spann for News 5.
All right, thank you, Allison. Well, the homeless in Mobile were on the receiving end of some Christmas generosity downtown. Take a look at this. A family gave out care packages this Christmas to the homeless around Bienville Square. The care packages were filled with a variety of items ranging from socks, mittens, deodorant, toothbrushes, shampoo, and water bottles, just to name a few.
You know, my family isn't doing much on Christmas, so why not, you know, come down and put a smile on somebody else's face.
Everyone should do it, not only Christmas. Let's do it every day.
Normally we have been selfish on Christmas. Just want to spend time along with our family. Those out here in the park that's roaming around the street have nowhere to go, nothing to do. And what better thing to share part of it with those that's fortunate. That's the spirit of Christmas.
Well, over 100 care packages were passed out, and the family hopes to do this great deed for more Christmases to come. Well, the holidays are a time for celebration and gifts, but not all presents hit the mark, and returning them doesn't feel very festive, right? Well, CBS's Jill Schlesinger has more on a guide to making holiday returns.
Ugly holiday sweaters, the wrong toy, yet another boring tie. It's no wonder that 2/3 of people return at least one holiday gift. Before you head out to the store or post office to make those exchanges, you should know that return policies vary dramatically depending on the retailer. Go Banking rates ranked 50 retailers. They said the best ones offer generous return windows of 90 days, accept returns without receipts, and provide satisfaction guarantees. The top 3, Nordstrom, Costco, and Bed Bath & Beyond. Now, many of these big retailers have new return policies that apply to just certain items. Kohl's has added a deadline of January 31st for premium electronics. Toys R Us imposes a 30-day return period for computer hardware. Meanwhile, Target, Walmart, and Toys R Us now have new, shorter return periods of 2 to 4 weeks for drones. For Amazon.com, you have until January 31st for most items shipped the last 2 months of the year, but there are no refunds on downloads. Overstock.com also gives you until January 31st, but fees apply if opened, used, or late. Many happy returns. In New York, I'm Jill Schlesinger.
Well, during the holidays, families, they've come to visit, and the trash, it's probably piled up by now. All the food, bags, cards, gifts, they're all opened, and that can mean really a lot of garbage. Well, the city of Mobile, they want to remind folks that garbage pickup will be this Wednesday, December 28th, instead of tomorrow, the day after Christmas. So wait a couple of extra days before you haul out all of your Christmas trash. Well, getting the opportunity to graduate high school is quite the accomplishment, but for those behind bars, that educational achievement means something else entirely. Our photojournalist Amber Gerard has the story.
For 5 special men, Christmas came early this year. They woke up as inmates at Mobile Metro Jail, but they went to bed as high school graduates. They're the latest class of 2016. When Michael Tate first went to jail, he was 24 years old. Now at 28, he is here again. This is his 3rd time.
I didn't want to do it again, but unfortunately I came back.
Since his incarceration began last December, Michael has had a lot of thinking time. And then all at once, he says, he realized that he was done with the streets, and actually had been for a long time.
Tired of being locked up away from my people, my family, my friends, everybody that loved me. I was out there selling drugs, and I was tired of it. I've been doing it for too long.
He came up with a game plan.
Well, I heard about the GED program from another inmate, so I enrolled in it. I stuck with it and got it.
To date, 175 inmates have successfully completed the program.
This is a tough place. This is a jail, and this is a good program, and they know it, and there's a long waiting list to get in here.
Jonathan Braswell has been the GED instructor at Mobile Metro Jail for 6 years. Previously, he taught in the Mobile County Public School System.
In education, sometimes it's hard to see results quick. In this type of teaching environment, you see results pretty quick, and it's been an honor to see lives get changed.
Like Braswell says, it is a jail, which means when class is over, it's back to the wedge and the realities of life behind bars.
It's not a library back there. It's a lot of noise, a lot of distractions. It's another kind of lifestyle, and they easily can get enticed with that lifestyle and what's going on in the wedges. But these guys actually separate themselves from that and get into a quiet, still place and study.
Chaplain Singleton says the inmates' willingness to take on the challenges that they have faced and will most likely face when they are released can only be attributed to one thing: their bulldog tenacity.
Hey, they are to be commended for a spirit of excellence.
I'm Amber Gerard, News 5.
Well, after the inmates graduate with their GEDs, if they choose further education upon being released, most colleges in Alabama, you might not know this, they say that they'll accept their certificate for enrollment. Well, coming up, details on the Syria-bound military airplane that crashed into the Russian.
Clouds and sun filled our skies today, but it's the warmth you'll probably be talking about. I'll have that forecast coming up.
When severe weather strikes, you know I'm going to be here until the storm passes. But I'm here on the nice days too. Getting you off to work and school is what I do. So here's the deal. If you are going to give me your valuable time on a busy morning, I want to make sure that you know exactly what the weather is going to be that day.
As you're heading off to school, a handful of foggy spots out there. By the time you're heading home, nothing but sun.
Because mornings matter to you.
The remarkable Audi A6. Find out how this Audi earns its rings. Get an exceptional offer at your local Audi dealer.
The most magical time of the year is also the perfect time to take home a new Honda, KBB.com's best value brand. Hurry in now and discover the Pilot, CR-V, and new Ridgeline, because the Happy Honda Day sales event ends soon, only at your Honda dealer.
With Advil, you'll ask, what bad knee? What throbbing head? Advil makes pain a distant memory. Nothing works faster, stronger, or longer. What? Pain. Advil.
You wouldn't believe what's in this keister. A farmer's market, a fire truck, even a marching band. And if I can get comfortable talking about this keister, then you can get comfortable using Preparation H. For any sort of discomfort in yours. Preparation H. Get comfortable with it.
Create your own TV package with the new Flex Pack from Dish. Start with 50 popular channels, then add the channel packs you want. Get the Flex Pack for $39.99 a month, guaranteed for 2 years. Call 1-800-CALL-DISH. Visit dish.com.
There's only one dealership on the Gulf Coast where you can buy a pre-owned vehicle for just $29 down or only $99 a month. Chris Myers Used Car Megastore. Pre-owned vehicles, one-owner trades, pay just $29 down. Over 400 vehicles to choose from. Payments from $99 a month. Others just $29 down or $149 a month. Now through Monday only. Used buyers shop Chris Myers. The Chris Myers Used Car Megastore.
Is it a force of nature or a sales event? The season of Audi sales event is here. Audi will cover your first month's lease payment on select models. Sales event ends January 3rd.
WKRG News 5, brought to you in part by DeanMcCurry.com, home of the warranty forever.
Welcome back. 4 new movies open this week ahead of the holiday weekend, but did they stack up well against Rogue One at the holiday box office? Well, Rogue One, a Star Wars story, is #1, as you would expect, at the box office for the second weekend in a row with $71 million. The animated musical Sing came in second place with $35 million. The third spot going to sci-fi fantasy Passengers at $14 million. Assassin's Creed, based on the game, was fourth with $10 million in ticket sales, and rounding out that top 5, Why Him with James Franco at $9 million. Well, in international news, a Russian military plane carrying 92 people, including dozens of Red Army choir singers, dancers, and orchestra members, crashed into the Black Sea on its way to Syria on Sunday, killing everyone on board. Russians say the crash could have been caused by a technical malfunction or a crew error, but no terrorism is suspected. The plane was en route to Russia's air base in Syria before crashing shortly after takeoff from the resort town of Sochi.
Now, Melissa Constanzer with First Alert Weather.
Late December, early winter, Christmas Day, and none of this is what we expect for these kinds of temperatures. It was 75 today in Pensacola and 80 degrees in Mobile, which actually broke the record that we set last year, 79 degrees. So yes, record-setting warmth once again this Christmas. And look at those average temperatures. We should be, this time of year, coming in with the afternoon temperatures in the lower 60s. We're not even there tonight yet. It is past 10 o'clock at night, and we're still in the upper 60s. Some of us still hanging on to 70, like Pascagoula and Hattiesburg. It's 68 in Pensacola, 69 in Mobile. Now, those temperatures fall off a little, but not all that much. We've kept a bit of a southeasterly breeze, and this will continue into tomorrow. You'll notice it a little bit more. And this breeze is actually a good thing. It's kept our fog to a minimum for now. We will have some patchy fog out there overnight, so as you're heading off tomorrow morning, watch out for that. There could be some patchy fog. Otherwise, we're going to see those clouds come in a little more tomorrow. Still, though, another warm day with highs in the 70s. And the warmth, we're not alone. Montgomery actually set a record high temperature today of 79 degrees. And it's all ahead of this big, powerful storm system. That's why we're getting the warm pool out of the south right now. But if you're heading up to the northern part of the country, maybe flying home, there is snow and ice up there through parts of North Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin. Our Bayway, at least right now, looking dry. This is a live view from our Alpha Insurance camera. Daphne looking dry and quiet this evening, and we'll keep dry roads probably for the most part through the next few days. Right now, your forecast showing the clouds coming in tonight. Again, watch out for some patchy fog tomorrow morning. Tomorrow, we keep a few more clouds than today, but we also add just a small chance for a shower. Most of us will stay dry, but that rain chance around 20% or less. Notice this front that you saw part of that powerful storm system starts inching down that line of rain, but it doesn't really get here until Thursday. So we're not talking about much rain in the forecast throughout the next few days, but there is still a chance as we head into tomorrow afternoon. So tonight, back down only into the mid-60s. It stays pretty mild outside. Just, again, watch out for some patchy fog. As we head into tomorrow, we're still in the mid-70s. Maybe not quite record-setting like we were today, but still warm. Again, with a few isolated showers possible through the afternoon and evening. That rain chance around 20%, not just tomorrow, but right through Tuesday and Wednesday. Staying warm in the 70s through then. Then Thursday, that's when that front starts to pass through the area. And beyond that, we cool down for Friday. We can't rule out showers, though, unfortunately, for New Year's Eve as that ball or moon pie or pelican is dropping. We could see a few showers in the area. That forecast, though, still needs to be fine-tuned as we go through the week.
Thanks, Melissa. It's time to begin our countdown of WKRG.com's top stories of 2016. All this week on News 5, we'll be looking at the 5 stories that you at home clicked on the most this year. But tonight, we begin with the stories that just missed the cut. So let's get right to it here. At number 10, more than 100 dead sharks mysteriously wash ashore in Mobile Bay. This happening back in June. Officials believe a recreational fisherman cast a net in this shark nursery area and panicked after seeing that he had captured a large amount of young sharks. At number 9, a terrible truck crash caught on camera in Creola. This was in February when an 18-wheeler pulling out of a gas station on Highway 43 was rammed by another 18-wheeler. Creola police say the driver of that truck, 57-year-old Dwight Salter of Repton, died on impact. And number 8, the riots at Holman Prison. It's been a year of chaos at Holman Correctional Facility in Atmore, but things were particularly out of control in March when 70 inmates took over a wing of the prison and attempted to burn their way out. They were protesting overcrowding and deteriorating conditions in the Alabama prison system. This was just one of several riots that happened at Holman in 2016. At number 7, a tragic accident on the Foley Beach Express in June. Police say a truck crossed into oncoming traffic just north of Highway 98. A young boy in the backseat of a white SUV on the driver's side was killed instantly. At number 6, sea lice invades Gulf Coast beaches. This caused a crazy summer scare locally when swimmers were coming out of the water with light rashes, complaining of itchiness. Well, sea lice is actually the nickname for jellyfish larvae, which are quite common and can cause irritation when they come in contact with the skin. This story was shared thousands and thousands of times on the WKRG Facebook page. Now, before we reveal the top 5 next week, starting tomorrow, here are some notable stories that won't be there because they were higher up on our list. Surprisingly, Governor Bentley's sex scandal involving his top advisor, Rebecca Mason, had finished the year at number 43. At number 23, the controversial shooting death of armed teenager Michael Moore at the hands of a Mobile police officer. Then all the way down at number 18, a scary news story for parents in Mobile, the SUV that plowed into the Sheffield School of Dance on Old Shell Road, killing a beloved member of that community, but not seriously injuring any children inside. At number 16, you might remember this, the verdict and sentencing of Hawatha Robinson, the father accused of sexually abusing and killing his 8-year-old daughter, Hawaii, one of the most tragic murders in recent years. And number 14, Mobile City Councilman C.J. Small shot in the cheek during a trip to Johannesburg, South Africa. We brought you updates on that story on WKRG.com as we learned of Small's improving condition overseas. So join us next week on News 5, all next week on News 5, starting tomorrow. Each day we'll be counting down the top 5 most clicked on stories of 2016 that you read on WKRG.com. Again, we reveal number 5 starting tomorrow right here on News 5. Well, college football continues. We're going to show you how the Crimson Tide gearing up for the New Year's Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. That's coming up next in sports.
I'm Peter Albrecht. Get the top 9 at 9 stories weeknights on CW55 News at 9, your new choice for news in Pensacola.
For 6 days only at Chavis and Chickasaw, save on washers, dryers, refrigerators, ovens, ranges, dishwashers, leather sofas, recliners, and bedding. Over $1 million in appliances are in stock. Save thousands on kitchen packages. Go to Chavis.com for details.
The most magical time of the year is also the perfect time to take home a new Honda. Like the Accord, the best-selling car in America. Hurry into the Happy Honda Day sales event, only at your Honda dealer.
New Sierras, 20% off. That's over $10,000 in savings. Only at Chris Myers. Every Buick, every GMC, off the books by year-end. Corporate ordered clearance. You have never, ever seen year-end clearance pricing this low. Sierra savings over $10,000. Yukons, Acadias, every 2016 and 2017. Sold with corporate ordered clearance pricing. Chris Myers Buick GMC in Daphne. Log on chrismyers.com.
For 6 days only at Chavis and Chickasaw, save on washers, dryers, refrigerators, ovens, ranges, dishwashers, leather sofas, recliners, and bedding. Over $1 million in appliances are in stock. Save thousands on kitchen packages. Go to Chavis.com for details. Don't be without the WKRG News 5 app. Get news, traffic, and weather on your tablet or smartphone. Just go to the App Store or Google Play and type in WKRG.
Lease the Infiniti QX60 for $439 a month, or finance at 1.9% APR at your local Infiniti retailer.
Oh, Mike. Hey. It's quite the snowman you got there.
Yeah, it was quite the sale. I saved big. You?
Saved huge. And mine lights up, too.
This holiday season, see your GMC dealer and get something you really want. Get nearly $9,700 total value on select specially equipped brand new 2017 Sierra Crew Cab SLT vehicles in stock. GMC, we are professional grade.
Invest in your child with College Counts, Alabama's college savings fund. Open an account and invest by December 31st and receive special tax benefits up to $10,000 for Alabama taxpayers. Visit collegecounts529.com to learn about investment objectives, risks, and costs, and to get your enrollment kit. Check with your home state's 529 plan for tax and other benefits. Invest in what's next.
Now, News 5 Sports.
Well, the South Alabama Jags, they're getting ready to face Air Force in the Nova Home Loans Arizona Bowl. South and the Falcons will meet on Friday at Arizona Stadium in Tucson. This will be the Jags' second time in 3 years participating in a postseason bowl, and the third time in the last 4 seasons the Jags have been eligible for postseason action. They won their final 3 contests in 2013 to finish 6-6, just like this season, but they weren't invited to a bowl. Kickoff for the Air Force game versus Jags slated for 4:30 on December 30th. Alabama's football players, they're home for Christmas, as they should be, but they're going to report to Tuscaloosa tomorrow and leave for Atlanta, of course, that day. The Tide will play Washington New Year's Eve in the same Georgia Dome where they played in the SEC championship game. This will be Alabama's 5th game in Atlanta in the last 3 years. It's become a second home of sorts, and the veteran players there with the Crimson Tide think getting to play a playoff semifinal there is a really big advantage.
I think it's a huge upside for us, you know, especially for the younger guys who's never played in a playoff game, but they've played in this stadium before, so it's a huge advantage for us. Our fan base travels well when we go to Atlanta. I think it's going to be a great experience.
Alabama's won the last 7 games it's played in the Georgia Domes. Get this, the last loss was to Tim Tebow's Florida in the SEC championship game back in 2008. It'll be a party in New Orleans for Auburn, we hope, which has won a spot to play in the Sugar Bowl against Oklahoma. Auburn, 8-4, tied for the second most wins in the SEC. The Tigers finishing in a tie for second in that SEC West division. And the number 7 Oklahoma is 10-2, sweeping their way through the Big 12 with a 9-0 conference record. Auburn and Oklahoma will kick off at 7:30 on January 2nd, that Monday. To the hardwood, it's a rematch of the 2016 NBA Finals. The Cavs, they defeated the Warriors in an exciting game today. Very close for those Warriors. LeBron James, lead scorer with 31 and 13 rebounds on the night, but the play of the game had to be right here during the fourth quarter when Cleveland's Kevin Love finds Richard Jefferson. Let's take a look. He has the monster slam over Klay Thompson. Jefferson just showing off his supreme athleticism. Big fan of him from the Nets days. Jefferson with the highlight in that big win for the Cavs over the Warriors. We're going to have a last look at weather just ahead after the break, and we'll say goodnight.
Brought to you by BMWofMobile.com.
The Lazy Boy Furniture Gallery's year-end sale, where you'll find incredible savings on sofas, sectionals, and more, plus special financing. Quality that lasts, savings that won't. Hurry in before time runs out. Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries. Live life comfortably.
The Porch Band of Creek Indians were in a really tough spot. But after they were recognized by the federal government, they started the long, hard journey up. They've done miraculous things, almost from zero. They're a major economic force in our community, and to have a community like that are so inclusive and so supportive, we're proud of the fact that they are home and they're our neighbors.
The most magical time of the year is also the perfect time to take home a new Honda. Like the Accord, the best-selling car in America. The Happy Honda Day sales event ends soon, so hurry in now. Only at your Honda dealer.
Whoa.
That is my favorite color.
This holiday season, people have a lot to say about the Chevy Red Tag sales event.
This is a nice beefy truck.
I'm drawn to this one.
You can get special holiday pricing, and when you find your red tag, you get thousands more cash back. That's 2 deals in one.
Amazing.
Show me where all the red tags are at.
You guys have a Chevy dealer around the corner?
It's the Red Tag sales event. Find your tag for an average total value over $2,900 on Chevy Malibu. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
How else do you think he gets around so fast? Take the reins this holiday season and get the Mercedes-Benz you've always wanted during the winter event. Now lease the 2017 E300 for $549 a month at your local Mercedes-Benz dealer.
Bass Pro Shops is more than a store. It's amazing aquariums and wildlife displays. And it's great gear and local advice for wherever your adventure takes you. Bass Pro Shops in Spanish Fort and Destin, Florida.
The Lazy Boy Furniture Gallery's year-end sale, where you'll find incredible savings on sofas, sectionals, and more, plus special financing. Quality that lasts, savings that won't. Hurry in before time runs out. Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries. Live life comfortably.
Open nightly November 11th through January 1st. ChristmasNightsOfLights.com.
And we're back with meteorologist Melissa Constanza. Melissa, we had some beautiful fog settle in on Christmas Eve. And then today it was just so warm for Christmas.
I know. That's going to be the story as we go through the next few days. Although I think we're done with the records. We had a record yesterday and a record today. And tonight it will stay mild. Take a beautiful look at downtown. Wow. We could see some patchy fog out there. So while it looks clear now, just watch out for that as you head into tomorrow morning. But it's still 68 degrees at this time at Gulf Quest Maritime Museum. And we will only fall into the mid-60s tonight if we can even get to that. There will be a few more clouds coming in tomorrow. I think you have more clouds, maybe a few isolated showers during the afternoon. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, none of them are wet. Just don't be surprised if you see a shower out there. And it stays warm in the 70s.
Warm in December.
Yeah, lots of December warmth.
Thanks, Melissa. Hey, catch Jessica and Thomas Skiboy giving you your weather tomorrow in for John on News 5 this morning, that beginning at 4:30 in the morning. And if you haven't seen our Christmas poem, it's on the WKRG Facebook page. A lot of familiar faces in there.
Yeah, a lot of fun making that one.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Guys.